the first thing we want to look at is vibrational. It's not a destination, a realm that we go to outside into the ethers. It's a vibration, and it is the information that comes through is very well, basically is really subtle. It's a subtle vibration. It's a loving vibration, and you're not going to see or journey. There's no journey. So first of all, it's vibrational. You're not going to see a lot of things. You're going to feel it, right? And it is an archive. So it's an archive of your soul. What everything has been through, what your soul has traveled through time, what has it learned, what it hasn't learned, and it has been recorded. All these here different experiences that your soul has come to learn is all recorded within the Akashic Records. And what is the value of that? Like what are you going to be able to obtain from it? It's it helps you to move forward. You know, the long and short story of the whole thing is, how can I move forward in this lifetime more easily? How can I be more human? How can I obtain what I'm meant to have on a soul level, to be able to get out into the world? And I mean, we're all healers. Like we're all here we're interested in helping people. And so how can I help people when you know, first of all, first when I'm damaged, like we're all damaged inside, right? We go through these horrible experiences and all the rest of that. So how can I be good with myself, and then how do I get back out into the world? In the dimension of the Akashic Records is a perfect opportunity to be able to go in, find out what's going on here, what can I learn and achieve so I can go out into the world. So it's vibrational, and it's an archive of your soul. It also contains the blueprint of your soul. So the fixed part of the Akashic Records gives you the idea, and has, well, it doesn't give you the idea. It contains the structure of who you really are. Every soul is unique within itself, but it is also similar to the divine, right? So it holds into their blueprint who you really are as a personality. We're unique strands. So you know, your common personality that runs through all your lifetimes is contained within there. It also has, you know, where the destination is, where you're going to be, end up being, right, is contained, and that's fixed. That's solid. You can't change that. Also, the lifetimes that you have been in, you cannot change. You cannot erase people out of your Akashic Records. You can't add them in. You know, once you've lived the experience, it's there, right? So there's no magic wands in there where, you know, we're just going to wave our you know, magic wand, say our words, and poof, we're all. I don't want to disappoint you, but it's not going to happen. Um, you know, there is a lot of things that do happen. You know, we get shifted into, and life becomes a lot easier. It's that vibrational archive. Another way to look at the Akashic Records is, for one thing, it's soul based. So it's like the connective tissue between your soul and the divine. It's that their layer of connection between your soul and the divine that contains all that you are. And when we travel up and we look at that connective tissue, we learn that it's spiritual, because it's a soul-based thing. It's not psychic. We don't have to go out beyond into the ethers to pull information down and that kind of thing. It's all contained within us. So being spiritual, you do not have to be psychic. You don't need to have any other, you know, and there's no channeling, there's no clairvoyance, that kind of thing, right? You don't need none of that. You know, thank goodness, because I have none of that. Like, I'm not, you know, if I was to rely on my psychic abilities, I'm in trouble, right? But within the Akashic Records is spiritual, it's spiritual based. So we can go in there, and everybody has the right to do it. this is your records. This is personal to you. So nobody can say, well, you can't get into your Akashic records, right? You're in control. So you have the right to go into your Akashic records. You can go in there, find out exactly, okay, what am I having problems with? This is my issue. What's going on here? So you can go into your Akashic records and on a soul level and be able to learn from that, and get guidance and actually shift your perspective into new things. And so it's a dimension of the connective tissue between your soul and the divine that contains all the information of your soul, and it started from the conception of your soul. It is a dimension of, is a vibrational dimension. It's also a dimension of light. So this Akashic light is available up there. We all have an abundance, an unlimited amount of light available to us. So within the Akashic records, we have the access, the channel in which we can go in and pull that light and have it shine on to different parts of who we really are, right? And it amplifies and enlarges. It brings to life what really needs to be looked at. When I first got into the records, when I first in 2013, I actually was a friend that kind of dragged me to the class, right? I didn't have a whole lot of interest in the Akashic records. It sounded very bland and because I come from a very religious background, I was looking for something that was more soul based. Like I knew there was something bigger out there than what I was receiving on a religious platform. So I go to this class. I was scared to death of people. I was a baker. For 30 years, I was a baker. I hid in the back at night, nobody around. I didn't have to deal with nobody, and I loved it. So I go in there and I go to this class, and the dimension of love, light is love. First of all, too, like when you look at spirituality is love, right? The soul is love based. So the Akashic records are love based. So when you go into your Akashic records, you're accessing unlimited love, right? Unlimited light, unlimited love. So you enter into this here abundance of love. You get seated into this, and you have available this to you. And it really, what it did for me, it put me on a path of my true soul's path. Especially right now where everybody's looking, the big thing is, what is my soul's path? I do lots of readings and stuff, and probably the number one question is, what is my soul's path? What am I supposed to be doing? I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. I don't know what it is, right? You go into the Akashic records, and the Akashic records didn't tell me, okay, Kevin, you're going to be teaching internationally in, what has it been, 6 years, right? If it would have told me that, I would have said, okay, I'm out. There's no way that I am getting in front of anybody, whether it be public or even on a screen, on a platform like this on the screen and talking to people. No way. But through the Akashic records, it takes you very gently and smoothly so that you take one step at a time to get to where you need to be. My experience was I started the class and I was getting deep into myself. I was starting to realize, hey, I'm actually worth something. I have abilities here. And I kind of liked it. I kind of liked to be able to go into a realm that I was loved. And so it's getting comfortable with myself. And then the next thing, I was thinking, well, I want to go farther with this. Maybe I should take the teacher training program, right? I'm not going to teach, but I'm going to learn how to teach. I'm going to learn a deeper aspect of it, because let's face it, when you're taking those programs, you're getting the behind the scenes information, right? And I wanted the good information, not the information that everybody had, right? So I take this class. Then I decided, well, I maybe should get my money back out of this, right? I mean, I have the class, I got the information, I got the certification. Linda totally believed in me. Maybe I should teach 1 or 2 classes just to get my money back. And I was just going to do it to friends. So that's what I did. I started doing that. Well, the next thing I knew, like before COVID started in 2000 and what was it, 2020, when we started getting locked down, I was flying across Canada to Toronto to teach. I was flying to Vancouver to teach. I was going over to Saskatoon and Regina, going to the far sides and the far side of Alberta and all the rest of that. All of a sudden, I'm going out into the world and I'm teaching. That can only be attributed to going into my soul's path or going into my Akashic records, realizing, having that Akashic light shining down onto my soul's path to amplify it and to put me out into the world. That is what is available to you. Now, I'm not going to say, you're going to take a class and all of a sudden you're going to be teaching and all over the place. Maybe that's not your soul's path, right? Anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about that kind of stuff later. So you go in there, the dimension of spiritual light. So how do we access this? Like, and over, of course, the entire lifetime of the Akashic records, the dimension, there has been all kinds of people that have had access and right from ancient times up until now. And they've all had different aspects on how to get into them. The number one thing was that they were extremely spiritual. It was available to the upper level of spiritual people. There was a connection there. Now, with the evolution of our soul as a collective, we're growing consistently, right? So as well as us growing consistently, the Akashic records have been growing and becoming available to us. So if 100 years ago, we probably would not have been able to fully understand what was available to us at then, but now we can. So all of a sudden, these sacred prayers had started coming. And in 1994, Dr. Linda Howe, she got involved in the Akashic records. She started to get to find out about them. And her being the awesome person that she is, she was able to, she was a teacher. She's a natural born teacher. And if you ever get a chance to step into one of her classes, especially in person, I'd really encourage you to. But she started teaching, and as she starts teaching, she's realizing there's no information out there about it. So she takes and she writes this book and on the Akashic records. So she is a pioneer in the Akashic records. She began getting it out there and helping people to have access to it and teaching them. In this process, she developed the pathway prayer process to access the heart of the Akashic records. She goes out and she starts this and she started developing this. Now, that was, and I can't remember exactly the exact year that she really started teaching far out there, but it's been a lot of years, let's put it that way. And so using the pathway prayer, it is exactly that. It is a conscious ability to step into, or a conscious map to get into the Akashic records. It moves you into your Akashic records consciously and deliberately. So you know that when you say the prayer, you're in your records where you want to be. And as you open up this dimension, you step into the spiritual realm to have that light shine down on you. Through the pathway prayer process, this is for personal growth and transformation. Very important. It does not take us out into galactic experiences. It's all about your personal growth, who you are, and how you can be amplified on a human level. So I always think you're spiritual and you're human, right? It's a human dimension. Being able to step into the Akashic records deliberately and consciously, right? Consciousness is important. We want to be able to remember what we go in for, right? The pathway pure process is what we use. That's what. So why are we doing this? What is the purpose of you wanting to do it, right? What is the value of that? Lots of people, when they go into the Akashic records, it is, well, there's actually two almost separate things. One is for personal self. I'm having problems with relationships. What's going on here? How can, why am I always attracting personal things? I'm having issues, with, medical, I'm always sick. I have no energy. What is going on? Like, I need help. And lots of times we go out and, and I don't want to bash the medical system, right? Because, I love the medical system. I like the idea that if I'm going to have a heart attack, I have someone to go to, immediately, right? But when I'm having problems all the time sleeping, I'm having nightmares, I need somewhere to go. Like, what's going on here? What do I need to do to overcome this? And you can go into your Akashic records and find out, why am I having these problems? Why do I keep attracting this kind of relationship? I've been married 4 times and it always ends in disaster, right? I think now I'm getting the idea there might be an issue here somewhere. Where is it coming from, right? So the Akashic records is for personal growth, right? Number one, it's always for the personal growth. And then there's another section of people that they want to look at, how can I help people? There is the amount of people that are loving and caring and really want to heal people are really, they're healers, they're light workers, they're people that have a deep desire to reach out and make people be able to explore life more vibrantly, right? And those are the people that also come. How can I do this? I can go into your Akashic records and look at, okay, why are you having this problem? And so instead of doing personal work, and don't get me wrong, you have to do the personal work before you can help the people. So you need that experience, but you can go in there and help them doing readings and that kind of thing, right? So those are the two real avenues that people go into. Within the Akashic records, you can also there's a group of people that like working with animals. Guess what? Animals have their own Akashic records as well. So you go into the Akashic records and you ask, what's going on here with this here with my dog, and I mean, I can tell you some wild and crazy stories about animals that I did readings for, and what I've heard of other people doing readings for, and it's like, how does that happen? Like, you solve issues, you get a perspective of your loving pet in a whole new dimension, so you can help animals with that. So they get in and like there's horse trainers and stuff like that, people like that go in and they have a need to do that. Real estate people, you can go into the Akashic records of real estate and learn about that. And if you want to learn more too, like Marie, if you have to leave early, jump onto Linda Howe's website. There's all kinds of information on there that you can jump in and the courses and stuff are on there. So there's a whole dimension where it's accessible to you. The Akashic records are very useful and vibrant for. If because the records are spiritual, it's very poor at predicting. when am I going to be rich? When am I going to find that they're um, perfect man or woman, that perfect partner? When am I going to get that perfect job? When am I going to find that their perfect house? Da da da. Um, it's not so good at telling you, okay, well, in a year you're going to get that, in 10 years you're going to get that. But what is perfect about it is that it'll tell you what you need to do to get there. So what do I need to do to find that perfect partner, right? Um, really, that's what you want to know. All these things, they they put you into a realm of what's going on. It seats you, if that makes sense, into a beginning point in order to move forward. Also, there's a lot of people doing this work for traumatic events that happened in their lives, traumas, releasing traumas. Um, that's kind of a big thing right now. How do I release this trauma in my life? We all have traumas. We've all went through horrible things. When was it a good idea to hold on to that trauma, and why? And how do I let it go? And the Akashic Records can seat you into and shine that their Akashic light onto why you're having this experience. So it's a dimension that can shift you into walking this life more easily, and you can do that for yourself, and you can do that for other people. But I mean, this is all like I'm really kind of just whipping through here and trying to maintain a really quick, half an hour, 35 minutes of information, and what would normally take a whole weekend to run through, right? So how do we learn about this? Yeah, and this is if you're looking for something psychic, then you want to look for something psychic. You want to look for a course that is psychic based. It's not going to be the Akashic Records. If you're looking for personal transformation and empowerment, then the Akashic Records are perfect. As I said, Linda's been working in them, for a very long time, right? And she has, out of that period of time, part of her soul's purpose is to make them available to you, and also to develop these courses that are available. And I believe that she is really encouraging is to start at the beginning. You always want to start at the beginning. So there is 5 core courses within the Center of Akashic Studies, Linda Howe Center for Akashic Studies. There's 2 courses, the beginning or the practitioner certification course, and the advanced practitioner certification course. These 2 courses are based on Linda's book, How to Read the Akashic Records, and it's a purple book, or not the purple, the orange book. This book is all about how to access the records, how to get into the Akashic Records using the pathway prayer process, and what they are and stuff like that. So the first 2 courses, the first course, the practitioner course, is based on the first half. And that course is like a 9-hour course. Some of us teach it a little bit longer, but a minimum of 9 hours of instruction and homework, and that there, within that third course, is the one that it teaches you how to get into your own records, how to get into the records of other people, and how to get into the records of non-humans. So non-humans being your pets, your real estate, your house, your business, that kind of thing, or sacred places. There's a whole array, a whole bunch of different things that you can go into. And the first course is all about getting into those. There are 3 main things, and really it's more about getting into your own Akashic records, being comfortable getting into yours, and getting into other people's Akashic records. Most people, when they take these courses, don't take them to be a practitioner. They don't take them to be, a reader out into public. It is more about personal growth that they take them for. But the courses do, they teach you how to do that. So the first course is a 9-hour course teaching you how to get into your records and stuff. The second course, the advanced practitioner, that one is about energy healing, ancestral patterns, and reconciling past lives, and how to work with these here three things within the records. You have to take the first course, the practitioner course, before you can take the advanced course. That's a prerequisite there. Needless to say, like, if you have no idea how to get into the records, then you're not going to be able to do the rest of it anyway, right? So, and that again is like a 9-hour course. That is available with certifications. All 5 courses are certification courses through Linda Howe Center for Akashic Studies. Once you have the foundation of getting into the Akashic Records, then we go into the healing course. And that's like her second book, the blue book, this here one. With the healing course, that there one is about now what's going on in my life, the traumas, my personal experiences. How do I extend self-love to myself? Really important. And like I was telling you, when I first started going into the records, you know, that the divine love that I felt in there, what it started doing was making available to me the self-love. How can I open up so I can allow self-love to come in and really empower me? So in the healing course, we're looking at self-abandonment issues, right? Big, big issue. It's something that we all have issues with, right? We've all had experiences and traumatic things that happen to us, traumas, right? Releasing traumas, releasing self-abandonment. So self-abandonment, limiting patterns, how to release. We all obtain limiting patterns. How do we let them go? I know I have a problem, at night, eating at night. How come I have this? What's going on here? Why do I feel safe and I can't go to sleep unless I pull up to the refrigerator at night and eat the leftovers, right? It doesn't make sense. It's not empowering, right? Why was it a good idea? The Akashic Records shines the light on that, and you look at, okay, when was it a good idea to do this? And once you realize when it was a good idea to do it, then you can take the energy off it and move forward. Simple. Limiting patterns and releasing resentments. Once again, when you've lived like for 50 years, 60 years, you're going to have a few resentments that go on in your life. That's a natural, you're human. But how do I let them go? Why do I take them on? How are they good for me? Like, can you imagine why they are why holding a resentment is good for you? We're always told, no, that's a horrible thing. You're a bad person holding on resentments. No, you're not a bad person. You go into your Akashic Records and you find out that's the most loving thing that you can do. Within the healing course, that's what we're looking at. How do I let these go? How do I move forward? And how do I extend self-love to myself, even though I have self-resentment? Even though I have self-abandonment issues, even though I feel like I'm totally broken. Once we start getting settled into that, then the fourth course is Discover Your Soul's Path in the records and in the Akashic Records. And that's the purple book, this here one, based on that one. And how do I start to step out into the world? Now that I'm looking at myself and I've dealt with the issues within myself, how do I step out into the world and get out there? And that was, like I said, when I first started in the records, I was, extremely shy. I couldn't talk in front of people. So the issues that I had to look at was, I had authority issues. Like, I didn't feel that authority was a good thing, right? Excuse me. So I had to look at it. So this looks at the 5-pointed star, the 5 things that you look at are incarnation, discipline, authority, responsibility, and commitment. So we look at those things and being able to come into a level of consciousness of them. It allows us to step out into the world and to be able to uh, allow the universe to bring to us what we need. Right. So how do I step out into the world? And then the central pillar of grace shining through all that. Right. Very empowering, very deep work. And then the fifth course is Linda's latest book, Manifesting Your Soul's Purposes through the Akashic Records, the Green Book. And that is, now that I'm spiritual, how do I be spiritual and step out into the world? And you know, the funny thing is you always, or I shouldn't say you, I always thought once I have obtained that spiritual level that I am ascending, you know, and being able to you know, be totally okay with myself. How do I go out into this crazy world and still maintain that there's centeredness, that I am perfect the way I am when I step out there and everybody's looking at me, um, going, you know, you're flawed, you're damaged, or, you know, that kind of thing. And how do I attract to me my soul's purpose? What is my destination? What is my whole purpose of being here? And as much as I would like it to be able to sit on the beach and absorb the universe's warmth, right? That's not going to happen. So that's the fifth course. So those 5 courses are all available to you, and the last 3 here, they're all like 12-hour courses, instructional courses, and they all these courses, they have different structures on how they're presented by different teachers. The the 5 core courses, the first there's mainly the first 2. They are or I shouldn't say mainly the first 2. The first 4 are available to you on Learn It Live. You can sign up. I have one course coming up May 29th and 30th for the beginning class, the practitioner class, that they're all certification courses. They are available on in person, or not in person, but online. So you have to be online, because obviously with COVID you can't do the in-person thing at the moment. But so they're online. They're available to you, and they're all taught by certified teachers that have been taught personally by Linda Howe, right? There is a structure that we have a plan that we go through, and an outline that we follow, and there's amazing teachers on there to get. There is amazing, I was going to say techniques, but their personalities. Like you're attracted to a personality, that's the class to take. And they're all the same. Like the pricing is all similar in those. They're all the same, actually. Each course has a different price point, but they're all, and it's all through Learn It Live. So you go on to Learn It Live. You have you know, as long as the internet is available to us, you'll have the recordings of the class and the availability. I know when you take these classes from us, that I know, like for myself, if you take a class from me, if you ever have any problems, you know, ever with you know, getting into the records or anything like that, you have available to, I'm available to you to help you with that, right? You can send me a message, and I will definitely help you with that. And I'm sure the other teachers will do the same. So you can do the online teaching classes with the teachers. There is also on Linda's website is the on-demand classes. Now, these classes are all pre-recorded. You take them at your own pace. I don't believe there's a time limit associated to them. So you take them at your own pace. You have available to you a mentor. You're assigned when you sign up for an on-demand class. You have a mentor assigned, which is they're all experienced teachers again. They will, when you do your homework, you send your homework to them. They'll review your homework and let you know, you're having problems here. Maybe, maybe if you looked at this a little bit different, it'll help you to get more information. So they'll go through your homework. Also, you have like 2 hours of in-person mentorship where you can go on in the phone, on Zoom, Skype, another one is Skype, whatever it is you want to do. You have that available to you, and you can talk, any problems that you have, you can go through and talk to them and sort that all out. At the end of that, once you did all your homework and stuff in the classes, you will receive a certification just like the other courses, right? So that is, and those are all the 5 core courses as well, are available to you on there. On Linda's website, you can also go on and look at the enrichment program, enrichment courses, and those are taught by excuse me, teachers again, and they're not certification courses, but they are courses that will, if you are looking at, like, I know there's a course on there for expanding your business. I think Amy Mack is actually doing a course here. I'm not sure if it starts this week or is right away anyway, on how to navigate the Akashic Records and how they can help you in expanding your business, right? So they're kind of like little mini classes. So go onto your website. I gave you a lot of information really fast. And does anybody have any questions? Oh, someone asked about the homework. That's what. The examples of homework would be like, on there, you go through exercises. So you would, on the in-person classes, you would be doing exercises within the Akashic Records. And then you take a look at, okay, what is going on? How do I feel about it? And you start looking directly at the different aspects of, was it easy in there? Was it bad? That kind of thing. And you do write-ups of that, right? It's not like there's no writing essays. There's no right or wrong answers in the homework session. So don't stress out about, people make it very complicated. You don't need to. On the demand classes, it's a little bit different than in-person classes, right? So don't stress about the homework. It's easy. But good question.
I see Cynthia had a question above. I don't know if we touched on that, Kevin. What about combining counseling for trauma with Akashic Records work?
Oh, cool. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, combining. Well, that's what you can go into. Like, what is traumas are common. Like that's the most. Everybody goes through all kinds of things. With traumas, you go in and you're looking at, okay, I was bullied at school and it created a trauma. Why am I having problems with that? So you can actually go into your records and you can go into the records of other people. Like when you're counseling other people, you go in and you find out, what is going on here? What is the next best step to move forward from this? When was it a good idea? Why was it a good idea for me to hold on to the trauma? Very powerful. Why am I having issues with this? And it's normal, like, and it could be part of a life cycle, a life lesson. It could be, just something that is short-lived. So for sure, any issues that you're facing, whether they are personal or not, you can use the Akashic Records to do that. It's available. You take the first 2 courses with how to do the how-tos, right, of getting into the records. The second part, especially with working out with other people, it's important that you have to do the work yourself. So when we do these next 3 courses, the healing, discover your soul's path, and manifesting your soul's destiny. We are doing exercises within them. You're doing them on yourself, but you'll find that as you're doing work with other people, all of a sudden those issues you have the answers for them, and you can go into their records, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, I see that, and you can shine that light onto that to move it forward. Does that make sense, Cynthia, or did I answer the
Yes.
question?
Yes,
Cool.
thank you.
The Akashic records are really broad. You know, really what we do when we do Akashic record readings for other people, what it is really spiritual counseling with other people, right? It's not about sending them. You're not sending them anything, right? There's nothing that you go in and you're going to wipe this clean and you know, have terrible resentments to my ex, so I'm going to erase them from my Akashic records, right? You know, if you come upon anybody that is claiming that, then run, right? Because you can't do that. It's once you've experienced somebody, you've experienced it. But what you can do is shine the Akashic light on it and be able to make it empowering, to empower you, right? It's life is amazing. You know, people go through, and all you need to do is look at history. You know, some of the things that people have went through is like, I don't know how they could how could they handle that, right? You know, some things I just can't wrap my mind around. And it's amazing they come out and they are empowered by it, right? And it's being able to go in and shining that their uh, divine light on any situation, and being able to move forward and letting it go and say, you know what, this did not damage who I am. I am still whole and perfect no matter what you do to me or what I do to myself. This work is life changing. And it was amazing. You know, when we do the classes, I always tell my students, when we're doing the exercises, make sure you do take something simple. Don't take a life-changing problem that we're going to look at, because we're going to go into your Akashic records. Do something simple and light. Keep it light. And one girl made a comment after the class. Um, you know, I tried to keep it light, and every time I went into the records, it it was so deep and life-changing. And she, you know, her words were, you cannot keep anything light in there, right? It's going to shift you in some way. I like the idea that being spiritual does not make you immune to problems and situations. What it does do is being spiritual gives you a means of being able to handle it, to make sense of it in a spiritual realm, right? So I'm going to leave you with that. I think we're right at the end here. If nobody has any questions, we can go, and I encourage you to check out Linda's site, check out the courses that are available on there. There's lots of really good people. Once again, if you're interested, sign up. And I have the course, you know, I have a couple of courses coming up. I know Amy has some. There's a bunch of them out there available. There's on-demand classes as well. If you need to reach out, and you can send me an email, you know, on the links there. There's I think on Facebook and stuff. There's all kinds of things. You can reach me at kevin@lindahowe.com. So send them in. I have no problem answering, you know, and I'll certainly help you out the best I can, right? So I love you all. Take care. Live a wonderful life. Life is beautiful. You know, get out there and enjoy it. So take care, and we'll talk to you later. Cool. Thank you. Bye-bye.